New Year. Same me, and same Newcastle United. A very happy New Year to you, and an unhappy start to 2019 for Newcastle United. What did we expect against a resurgent Manchester United with a new manager and a team that are actually playing the football that the rest of the Premier League expects from them? I know, it's a tough one to go on with, but we're here on the Gallagher Shots YouTube channel, the home of the world famous Always Smiling Faces podcast and the not quite as famous player ratings videos with me, Emil. Thanks for watching, and we'll get straight into it, shall we? Martin Dubravka, what a shame. The first clanger he's dropped for us in his time, and really, you know, this time last year when we didn't know much about him, we have to say that this is the first mistake he's made. He was really unfortunate with that free kick rebound, and he still did look fearless when Manchester United came knocking. That being said, I think I've got to mark him down for this one. Not his greatest hour. 5 for Dubravka in this game. Now Yedlin, he looked as though in the early stages he was backing off a little bit when Man United were attacking. There was in particular one moment where he let Martial just go and go and go, and he had a shot. Luckily nothing came of it, but you know, he looked bright getting forward. He had a nice little stick in on Sanchez before getting past him, but then he was brought down by Shaw, which got him a yellow card, but it maybe could have been more. A lot of people saying that was rather aggressive. He was nowhere to be seen though for Rashford's goal. He was kind of the only defender that wasn't there, which is the same old problem we have with Yedlin. Good going forward, not so great getting back. So that being said, I'll give him a 6. Lascelles, he had a good little battle with Rashford for the entire game. Just saw that on Match of the Day actually, that he was, you know, really getting stuck in, but ultimately Rashford was beating him most of the time, whether it was Lascelles finishing with quite a frustrated tackle which could have been dangerous, but you know, strong tackles against Rashford, Pogba, Herrera, they could have been more dangerous as well, because you know, you never know when a card's going to get produced by the ref. Luckily on this occasion nothing came from those either. There was more backing off though from Lascelles on Lukaku. We've seen this in a lot of games recently, but it's good to see the stronger side of Lascelles. Maybe nice to see that a little bit earlier as players get forward for the other team. 6 for Lascelles as well. Cher in for Fernandes, and a bit more of a shaky performance, I've got to say at times. It was similar to how Fernandes was against Liverpool, where, you know, we've seen this player gone a bit starry-eyed when he's been playing against a weaker opposition and we've won the game. You know, he was outclassed by a better team, I would say, on a lot of occasions. And again, he didn't see Rashford coming in from the other side, which maybe was a little bit of heads dropping or just panicking as Lukaku came in, as Sanchez came in. He almost had a disastrous mix-up with Lascelles as well when he ran across him. So for that, I'm going to have to give Cher a 5. Muto came on from about the 81st minute, but I didn't really see much, but then again, there wasn't much he could do. It was after 2 goals had been scored, game over really. Dummett, he, I think, was the best defender on the pitch. He struggled though, as the team was pressured more as the game went on. He did a lot of getting forward, he tried a few crosses which didn't really do much, but I didn't think he was really to fault on this. He had plenty of touches and the damage was done elsewhere for both goals. So we'll give Dummett a 6. Richie, he's turning into more of a defender now, isn't he? But, you know, he's not the star man like we saw against Man United last season. He was more of the wing-back role in this one. And it was another standard showing with crosses, but it was a quieter game for Richie. Quieter than his last 2, certainly, like he was against Watford. I'll give Richie a 6 as well. It was a pretty average game for most of the team, but a few standout performances. In particular, Mo Diame, who started the game, sadly didn't finish it. I would say that, you know, he was bossing the midfield like last time, and a lot of the time he was left to deal with Pogba, and he did that role pretty well. A few saying the game changed when Diame went off, and I have to say I agree. We did look a bit more of a unit in the centre, and you know, it was kind of that performance that you'd expect back in the day from Tiote, where he was really just managing the midfield. That game where we beat Man United. Sorry, don't shoot me. Man United in that January where we won 3-0. Bar and Cabaye getting goals, and yeah, you know, for most of the time he was on the pitch. We'll give Diame a 7. Because, you know, a big stat saying that he got the most tackles in the Premier League in 2018, which is just amazing for one of our players. Shelvey came on for him. Now, I think it was a bit of a 50-50 in more ways than one for Shelvey. Now, we saw a lot of positive passes going forward, which is great to see. It's the Shelvey that we like to see, with balls into Perez, who even had a shot. Shelvey also had a shot as well. And, you know, if we can get a bit more of that out of him, then who knows. However, speaking of 50-50s, maybe pushing his luck with those tackles like he did on Pogba. And if he's getting fiery, yes, at least it means he's up for it. But, of course, we can defend him time and time again. If that was a tackle made against one of our players, then it would be a different story. We would not be very happy at all. And yeah, you know, improved performance, but again, I'm going to stick with a 6 for Shelvey. Hayden was kind of involved in both of the Man United goals, which is a shame. Not a great outing for him. A lot of people saying he did the job he was expected to, but again, you know, there was mistakes there which led to the goal. And yes, if you can play like that for 90 minutes, fine. But if those 2 mistakes are going to cost us, then you have to ask questions why Shelvey maybe wasn't starting the game. The free kick on Mata obviously led to the goal, which was mainly Dubravka's fault. But, you know, putting Man United into those positions, you don't want to give them that chance. And he also lost the ball, which led to the second. What annoyed me most about that was he lost the ball. And if you want to see some passion from a player who's talking about wanting to leave still, then he was just jogging back, which is just, you know, backing up these claims that he doesn't want to play for us, which in turn isn't going to put you in, you know, the best of places with the fans. It's just not what you want to see. For that, has to be a 5 for Hayden. Atsu, on the other hand, star performance. I love the fact that he is giving every single game his all. Yes, it was more of the first half where we saw him performing, but by then, Man United had obviously stepped up a bit. And he looked creative. The nutmeg on Pogba was awesome. You know, it's great to see. Gets the crowd G'd up a bit. And if only he had a bit more of an end product, that'd be nice to see. Someone maybe to, you know, get the crowd excited and also go on to beat the rest of the team. That would be interesting. He doesn't have to do it all himself, though. And I really felt from him in his post-match interview where he was saying, you know, if only I could get those end products, if I could get me shots away. Something you can work on, mate, and I'm sure that it will come. And you were against Man United as well, so don't forget that they're a top 6 side, at least they should be. And against some weaker teams, who knows? If Atsu can continue this form, then fingers crossed. I'll give him an 8. I think he deserves it for that game. Perez, again, I've already mentioned Shelvey played him in a few times. The first touch on the really nice ball Shelvey played in was maybe a bit much to get anything away. Man United's still hard to break down, I think, when you're getting into their box, and from close range it was a bit unlucky. He also played in Rondon, and I thought I was pretty impressed in the pressure that he put on Jones, who just kind of flapped a bit. And he got the ball into Rondon, which came to nothing, but, you know, Perez had those bright sparks, but in amongst the entire game he didn't do much. He did go off as well, but I'll give him a 6. Kennedy replaced him, and he actually looked like he was trying to create again, which is good, but a little bit of fight and a little bit of wastefulness, especially when he just took a shot which didn't go much and then he lost the ball. And he did track back for the second goal for Man United, but ultimately he maybe should have got to Rashford quicker rather than focusing on Sanchez, who already had 5 players around him. It was a bit of an annoying case for that bit there. 5 for Kennedy. Moving on to Rondon, he was unlucky again to get muscled off after that pass from Perez, which I just mentioned, where he went and beat Jones. But a very quiet game for Rondon. Maybe he should have taken those half chances, which could have put us in better stead for the rest of the game. You know, he still looks good up front. He held the ball up well, but maybe when he's facing better teams, it is showing the level that Rondon is at. 5 for him, and that kind of wraps up a game where the team did look up for it, and maybe we need to take some of those chances earlier on against teams like Manchester United. If that's how we play against the top 6, then I reckon we can take on others, as we know we can, maybe the weaker sides. And up next, it's the FA Cup. So, yeah, bit of a rest, certainly when we've got a few injuries kicking about, but good chance to get some of the squad players in. Obviously, Lejeune's coming back, and I think that it won't be a priority to get into the next round. If Blackburn beat us, don't lose your head, because we're never going to win it anyway. And that being said, maybe we can get some of the younger players on, like Longstaff, who've looked bright in recent weeks, get a bit of confidence in them. And after that, away to Chelsea. Lovely. I know it sounds awful, but expect the unexpected. We are Newcastle United after all. On the way on the YouTube channel, you've got more podcasts coming, you've got more videos. The FIFA run is still going strong, and some new predictions from Aaron on the way as well, which is great to see. Thank you for supporting it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.